Nanurua, Virgil is indeed correct, as the Uchiha is not here, and we cannot have all of our clients think we favor the shinobi that are from the clans here in Konoha. Uchiha Sasuke is disqualified from his match, and we will proceed with the next one, said the Hokage, as he knew the councils would blow out their vocal cords to yell at him. But Sarutobi didn't care and wasn't going to care what they said. Why have an Uchiha fight when a Namikaze could do so much better? The Junin nodded in regards to the Hokage's words, and informed Genma to make the announcement that got many people in Konoha booing the decision. Virgil nodded before he disappeared again, but reappeared in the stands right next to Hinata's Rao, and the girl was now blushing from his presence once more. "How are you feeling, Hinata-chan?" said Naruto as he saw the girl looking at him with shock, and her face turned even redder. "I am doing well, Naruto-kun," said Hinata as she rose to meet him, and was shocked to see him do something she never thought he would do. He took her hand and kissed it.
I must apologize. That's good to hear. I must apologize though for what I did to your cousin. Hopefully, the pain I inflicted on him, and my revelation will help Neji understand that fate is only as powerful as we let it believe it is. Oh, and if it's not too much trouble, could you please call me Virgil? It is my new name, said Virgil, as he saw the girl shooting steam out of her ears, and the girl fainted into her sensei's lap. What happened to you? Said Kurenai, as she saw her student lying in her lap blushing red with a smile on her face, and then looked up at Naruto now named Virgil seeing the young genin smirking at her.
Why did Kurenai feel like she was blushing now? Why did Tenten and Ino feel like it too? I grew up, said Naruto as he turned to the fighter's box, and vanished before appearing in front of the other fighters still looking at with cautious eyes.
So smooth, so calculating, so handsome, thought Temari, as she saw the once blonde now silver-haired genin stand next to her, and her breath was increasing noticeably.
Will Sabaku no Kankuro and Aburame Shino please come down to get ready for the next fight, said Genma, as the crowd was finally coming back to its senses, and wanted to see another fight.
Proctor, I forfeit, said Kankuro, earning him boos from the crowd and the cold blue eyes that narrowed in on the puppet user with displeasure.
Okay, Sabaku no Kankuro forfeits, so Aburame Shino is the victor of this match. Will Sabaku no Temari and Nara Shikamaru step forward for their match, said Genma, as he saw Temari fly down on her fan, and she looked ready to bash her opponent's skull in. That, and impress a certain silver, spiky-haired, devil swordsman.
Troublesome. Maybe I should forfeit too since I'm fighting a girl again, said the lazy as usual Shikamaru, only to be sent over the edge of the railing by Naruto by slugging the Nara over the head with Yamato's sheath. Consider yourself very lucky, Shikamaru. I could have done something else, but decided against it, and thought Temari deserved to get her licks in on you, said Virgil, as he saw Temari blush, and Shikamaru trying to get up from the crater he was in.
Damn you, Naruto, or Virgil, or whatever the hell you call yourself. When I get back up there, I'm going to use my shadows to hurt you, and do other troublesome things too, said Shikamaru, as he got off the ground only to be attacked by Temari, an iron fan she was now using like a club. Shikamaru mentally noted how the Suna's girl's clubbing style was similar to that of his mother's, when she used the frying pan on his father. Maybe it was genetic in all women to know that particular stance when hurting a man. Insult Virgil-kun, will you? Well, I'm just going to have to beat the crap out of you, said Temari, as she let out a battle cry, and swung her fan at him, and the Nara barely dodging the attack. And the one after that. And the next one. And the next one.
And the next one for the next 10 minutes straight, with Temari attacking him ruthlessly with her fan.
Stop! Stop! I give up! Proctor, tell her to stop. Naruto! Virgil! Virgil! "Whatever your name is, please call off this crazy, troublesome woman and save me," said Shikamaru, as he was able to jump out of the way of the wind jutsu Tamari shot from her fan, but landed on his butt, and was now at the blonde Suna girl's mercy. And in a Nara, male's experience, women don't show mercy. "Winner! Subaku no Tamari by forfeit," said Genma, as he felt pity for Shikamaru and decided to give the kid a break.
"But I want to hurt him for Virgil-kun," said Tamari, as she looked up at Virgil with puppy dog eyes, and Shikamaru was shaking his head along with his hands to tell Virgil to say no.
"Make it quick, Tamari-chan, and then come back up here," said Virgil, as he heard the girls yell of, "Thank you!" And then the screams of pain delivered onto Shikamaru, with the final blow being Tamari's iron fan, folded up before hitting the lazy Nara hard over the head, making him look like an ostrich when the cloud of smoke lifted. With her objective complete, Tamari put her fan on her back and skipped to the steps of the fighter's box, where she was humming a tune all the way up, making everyone except her little brother sweat drop. "Women. You can't kill them. And you can't do anything to make them not hurt you for being you," thought Shikamaru, as he finally got his head out of the ground and spit out the large clump of dirt in his mouth that had a worm in it.
"Okay, the next match will be Subaku no Gaara fighting Namikaze Virgil. Will both fighters please come down for your match?" said Genma, as Gaara appeared in a swirl of sand yet again, and Naruto was some 10 to 15 feet away from him.
Genma was about to start the match when a wind blew into the stadium to reveal Uchiha Sasuke and his teacher Hatake Kakashi, right behind him.
"I'm sorry, we're not late for Sasuke's match, are we?" said Kakashi, as his one eye formed into a U shape, and many in the stands were sweat dropping at this man's lateness.
"Actually, you're very late, Kakashi. The Hokage disqualified Sasuke, and we're now into the semi-finals," said Genma, seeing the other Junin's shocked look, and Sasuke looking absolutely livid from that news. "What? Who is Gaara fighting?" "I'll take that weakling's place," said Sasuke, as he saw Gaara standing in front of someone the Uchiha didn't recognize, and wondered who it was the Kazekage's son was fighting. "Namikaze Virgil, formerly known as Uzumaki Naruto," said Genma, seeing Kakashi look like he was ready to have a heart attack. And Sasuke looked unimpressed, though the anger on the Uchiha's face never left him. "So he beat Neji. The Hyuga clan must be weaker than I thought," said Sasuke, as he walked over to the two fighters, and then looked into Virgil's eyes.
"Leave, Sasuke. This is not your fight," said Virgil, calmly turning to the side slightly, as he now had his sheathed sword in his left hand, and his right hand twitched a little too.
"You leave, loser. I'm an Uchiha. You're nothing but some pebble on my road to gaining power to kill my older brother, and I'm going to fight Subaku no Gaara," said Sasuke, as he took a single step towards Naruto, and instantly regretted it. He regretted it because Virgil had drawn his sword in a blink of an eye, and had the long katana blade barely an inch away from Sasuke's own. "Leave, Sasuke. I will not tell you a third time, and if you refuse again, I will make you very similar to Kakashi in terms of how you wear your headband from now on," said Virgil, as he saw Sasuke looking nervous, and so was the audience, since not many of them thought anyone would dare raise a blade to the last Uchiha.
"Hokage-sama, stop Naruto, he's gone mad, and is threatening his own teammate," said Kakashi, as he looked for the old fire shadow for help, but found the man was not going to be so sympathetic towards the Uchiha, and the look in the old man's eyes made it clear he wasn't going to bow to the councils anymore. The Uchiha had his chance to be here on time, Kakashi. "Now it's Virgil's turn," said the Sandame, as he saw Kakashi was shocked yet again, and turned to look at Sasuke, trying to be defiant of his teammate's weapon.
He wasn't faring very well. "I wish to fight the Namikaze heir. He is clearly the stronger of the two shinobi before me," said Gaara, as he had heard of the Namikaze clan, and to fight one of its members made fighting a member of the Uchiha clan seem dull by comparison.
Let's go, Sasuke. There is always the next exam that will be hosted here in a few more months, said Kakashi, as he pulled Sasuke back from Yamato's tip, and tried to keep calm under Virgil's penetrating blue eyes that made him want to take a good 100 steps back from the silver-haired boy.
You will have to forgive the Uchiha for his stupidity, Gaara-san. The arrogant tend to be the first that want to die in battle while thinking they'll live to see the next day. Such is the way of fools, said Virgil calmly as he sheathed his sword, and looked at the statue-like form of Sabaku no Gaara standing there with his arms crossed over his chest. I agree. Can we begin now? Said Gaara, as he looked at the proctor, who looked up the Hokage, and saw the old man nod his head to proceed.
Namikaze Virgil vs Subaku no Gaara. Ready, fight, said Genma before getting far away from the two, knowing they were about to do serious damage to the other.
As you are the guest here in Konoha, and the Uchiha was quite rude, I'm giving you the first move in this fight, said Virgil, as he bowed his head slightly, and then waited for Gaara to make his move. The move was the cork on the gourd to fly at him before the sand in it began swarming around Gaara like mystical spirit. The cork was caught by Naruto before he threw it over his shoulder and cocked his head to the right for a second. Prove my existence in this fight, Namikaze, said Gaara in a deadly tone, and all Virgil did was smirk in response before rushing forward. Gaara's sand launched itself at Virgil as it sensed the swordsman's approach, and tried to wrap around the Namikaze like so many victims had done so in the past. However, Virgil was too fast for the sand, and drew his sword slashing all around Gaara with the sand the Kazekage's son produced, taking the hits that were delivered.
This Namikaze guy can't win. He could slash at Gaara until he was green in the face and he still wouldn't be able to hurt our brother, said Konkuro, as he saw Virgil move faster than when Lee moved with weights, and yet the genin couldn't get past Gaara's defense. That's what we first thought about that Rock Lee character, Konkuro. Virgil-kun is even faster and I don't think he's missing on purpose, said Tamari, as she saw the flashing of the blade Virgil used, and saw what looked like wind surrounding the blade.
It concerned Tamari greatly, as she saw Virgil attacking with ruthless precision, while Gaara stayed perfectly calm despite the fact sand was flying everywhere. And after about 5 minutes, the Namikaze was in front of Gaara, some 15 feet away, before looking back at his opponent. For a moment, neither of them moved, and many in the audience were on the edge of their seats at seeing the display of incredible power coming from the boy they had hated for so long. Then, in a mere flash of a second, Gaara's body gushed out sand from his armor that had covered his skin, and blood his body rained down all over it before the Kazekage's son fell to his knees, with a shocked look in his eyes. Gaara himself couldn't believe it, as he looked at the blood around him that was his blood, and coming out of his body at the hands of the half-devil before him, now sheathing his blade.
Gaara's scream of pain and agony that soon followed echoed throughout the entire arena into everyone's soul, making them shiver in fear of being in that state should they make the silvered-haired Namikaze their enemy.
I hope you understand, Gaara-san, that I take pleasure in causing you untold amounts of pain with Yamato. However, I do what I must to ensure your plan in the invasion does not happen, and find a way to fix what has been broken in you, said Virgil, as he saw Gaara look up at him in fear, and sensed Shukaku quivering along with its vessel at the power the half-devil possessed.
You are strong. You have given me a fight like no other. You have hurt my body like no other. I give up, said Gaara, as he looked up at Virgil, who looked at Genma, and saw the man nod his head at hearing the surrender, though the nod was more of a reflex than anything.
Winner of the Chunin exam semifinals, Namikaze Virgil, said Genma, as he raised his hand towards Virgil, who walked away from the arena floor back to the fighter's box, and stopped when he felt a genjutsu begin cover the arena. It begins, thought Virgil, as he looked at the cage booth, where an explosion from a gas bomb hitting the floor of the booth covered it enough to make the leaf shinobi hesitant to move. and made the half-devil tighten his grip on the sheathed blade, while enemy forces that were disguised as spectators sprung from the crowd to engage the lead. Virgil was no longer the supposedly stupid boy he had been for well over a decade, as his mind had been flooded with knowledge of past, and that of the present. Images from the first Chunin exams, the preliminaries, and Subaku no Gaara's demonic taint from the demon sealed inside of him, when facing Lee in the preliminaries, came running through his now tactical mind. Gaara was possibly the level of a cage already, so why put him in the Chunin exams? Answer: to use during the Chunin exams in a way that would cause chaos. However, with this key form of the attack against Konoha stopped from being carried out by the enemy, all that was left was the mastermind behind it all. And it certainly wasn't the Kazekage. The man may be a cage, but he was no master tactician, and the only one that could pull off a skilled invasion was none other than Orochimaru of the Sannin. The man hated Konoha almost as much as the people in it hated the former blonde fox vessel, and would do anything it took to teach the Sandaime a very lethal lesson when it came to choosing successors. Cage booth at the moment. You were a fool to spare me all those years ago, Sarutobi-sensei. Even with our means to destroy everyone in the stadium removed, the combined might of Suna and Sound will crush your weak little leaf shinobi into nothingness, said Orochimaru, as he removed the Kazekage robes and grinned viciously at the Sandaime now dressed in his combat armor, with Jiraiya right beside him.
You were always one for the theatrics, hubby Tim, said Jiraiya, as he got ready for battle with his sensei, and saw Orochimaru look beyond the stadium like he was searching for something. But that something never happened.
Where are the explosions? Where are all the Suna and Sound shinobi? I already had get into position to invade with my snake summoning, thought Orochimaru, as he frowned when he didn't hear anything aside from his bodyguards, raising the barrier around the trio, and then the barrier that protected them from any harm from two of the three shinobi trapped inside of it.
Looks like someone's plan didn't go according to what was drawn up, but then again all plans almost always never go the way we want, and tend to change in the moment they are set into motion, said Jiraiya, as he saw where Orochimaru was looking, and knew that whatever his former teammate had planned wasn't happening.
This is insane. How do we get the Sandaime and Jiraiya-sama out of this thing? Said one of the Anbu watching the events unfold, and saw the smirks on several of the four bodyguards of Orochimaru. You can't. This was designed to keep you out and them in, said Jirobo, as he saw the Anbu looking on, and powerless all the same.
Yeah, you think you assholes are so tough. Well, you pig fuckers are going to see why our boss is powerful, and is going to win this little standoff, said Tayuya, as she saw the Anbu look at her, and were no doubt glaring at her through their masks.
If Tayuya could flip them off, she would have.
Such foul language. If it weren't for the fact you have red hair, breasts, and your voice is feminine, I would have mistaken you for a man, said Virgil, as he appeared next to her corner of the prison, and ignored her growling with the grinding of the teeth to match it.
And who the hell do you think you are, huh? Probably some fucker that gets himself off with that sword of yours entering your ass at night from the look of it, said Tayuya, as she waited for Virgil to lose his cool, and mouth off at her like many would in his place for her choice of language. Please, I don't want to hear about your secret fantasies that you dream of having at night, of someone doing that to you, girl, said Virgil, as he walked away from the angry girl while the battle inside the barrier had Orochimaru with his sword drawn, Jiraiya dodging a cut from the poisonous blade, and the Sandaime using Enma the monkey summoning boss in his staff form to attack his former pupil. You! What are you doing here, demon filth? Said one of the Anbu, as he saw Virgil walk slowly and methodically towards them, until the boy stopped in front of the Anbu unit before turning to face the barrier in front of him. Nay, I am here to help the old man by breaking this barrier. However, you made it clear that I shouldn't be here, so I'll leave, and let it be known that the Ambu refused my help to save the hawkage because of your bigotry ways, said Virgil, as he turned to leave, and sensed the Ambu stiffen. Wait! If you know the way to take down the barrier to save the hawkage, then please do so, said the second Ambu behind the first. Why? I'm not welcome in this village even after you all heard what my last name really was. Meaning you don't care about the hawkage in general. If you did, you would have honored my father's dying wish and reinforced the Sandemi's law regarding the fox while protecting me when I was a child. You think I owe you anything for what the QB did to Konoha all those years ago? What I owe you is nothing, but a good quick stabbing of my sword through your guts and cutting you all vertically in half in front of your families, said Virgil, as he saw them tense when he turned slightly to face them, and sensed the first Ambu glaring at him heavily.
Damn demon. I don't care if you're the Yondaimi's son, you're still a monster, and deserve to die like the council said you should, said the first Anbu, who was not going to change his opinion about Virgil for anyone.
If that is your final answer, then I am leaving to kill more of the invaders like I did, the ones outside our walls, and further increase my reputation amongst our clients, said Virgil, as he had spent quite a bit of time before the exams killing the Suna shinobi that were preparing the summoning circle, and the sound shinobi that were hiding in wait to spring their trap during the Chunin exam final.
It was a shame no one really wondered why he was so late getting to the stadium in the first place. Though if it weren't for the shadow clone jutsu, Virgil doubted him getting to the stadium on time would have been even possible, and missed his fight with Neji. No, please, we are sorry for what we did, and wish to seek your aid to help the Hokage in his time of need, said the third Anbu of the group, and knew that the only way to save the Sandame was to make peace with the half-devil.